Days after SpaceX's Starship Flight 11 exploded over the Gulf, a recovered COPV tank from the booster stunned engineers. It was found on a Mexican beach, almost completely intact. This discovery isn't just surprising. It reveals how SpaceX's carbon fiber and aluminum pressure systems endured forces that should have destroyed them. What does this say about Starship's design and future reliability? Let's dive right in. When a massive explosion consumed SpaceX's Starship Flight 11, most thought everything had been lost to the Gulf of Mexico. But just days later, something extraordinary surfaced. A pressure tank from the booster, nearly untouched. The discovery quickly became more than a strange recovery story. It was a real-world validation of SpaceX's engineering philosophy. On October 13th, Booster 15, the last of SpaceX's Block 2 design, began its descent back to Earth. From the live feed, the rocket appeared calm, descending steadily through the clouds with only 3 of its 33 Raptor engines firing. For a few surreal seconds, it hovered above the ocean like a 70-meter steel tower balanced on fire. Then suddenly it lost pressure. The engines shut down. Silence turned to chaos. In seconds, the booster plunged, hit the water, and exploded into a blinding fireball. From that moment, Flight 11 was considered over. Another test to failure. But 2 days later, Mexico's coastal authorities reported a 3-meter-tall carbon fiber tank washed up on the beach, surprisingly intact. That tank wasn't just debris, it was a clue. The object was identified as a composite overwrapped pressure vessel, COPV, one of several tanks used inside Starship's booster to store helium at extremely high pressures. Their job is vital. Helium pressurizes the main fuel tanks and allows the Raptor engines to reignite during descent or landing. If even one fails, the entire rocket can lose balance or control. Yet this COPV endured everything, the explosion, the impact, and the salt water, and remained mostly undamaged. Engineers were stunned. What could possibly survive such violence? To answer that, you have to understand SpaceX's approach. Every failure is designed to test something, not just the flight path, but the materials themselves. And in this case, the results exceeded every prediction. Each COPV is built from a thin aluminum liner, wrapped with hundreds of layers of carbon fiber and bonded with resin. This gives it enormous strength-to-weight efficiency. During launch, these tanks face internal pressures up to 600 bar. That's about 10,000 pounds per square inch, while also being exposed to extreme heat and vibration. What makes this discovery remarkable is that the tank didn't rupture or split. It flexed, absorbed impact, and held together. That kind of integrity suggests SpaceX's latest manufacturing process, including fiber orientation and curing methods, has reached a new level of precision. This is what SpaceX means when they talk about iterative design. Each flight, even when it ends in an explosion, becomes a full-scale stress test. What survives gives them real-world data impossible to simulate. And this time, the surviving COPV didn't just withstand the test, it defined it. Starship's stainless steel structure plays a crucial role here. Early critics argued steel was outdated, heavier, harder to shape, less modern than carbon composites. But SpaceX chose it for one reason: resilience. Unlike aluminum or composite bodies used in Falcon 9, stainless steel can handle temperatures exceeding 1,000 degrees Celsius without deforming. That means during ascent, re-entry, and even explosion, it maintains structural integrity long enough to protect internal systems. So while Booster 15's body was torn apart by pressure waves, the surrounding steel absorbed much of the blast energy. The COPVs, nestled deep within, were shielded just enough to survive. This outcome quietly confirms something Elon Musk has said for years: that stainless steel isn't just a material choice, it's an insurance policy against failure. SpaceX's design philosophy has always been radical. Fail fast, learn faster. Most aerospace companies hide their failures. SpaceX studies theirs in 4K resolution. Every explosion, every crack in a heat shield, every engine anomaly becomes an open lesson. The recovered COPV now provides physical proof that SpaceX's improvements are working. Engineers at Starbase have already begun detailed scans to measure how the composite layers responded to the explosion, data that will directly shape the next Starship generation. According to internal reports, the COPV's carbon fibers showed almost no delamination, a sign of exceptional bonding. That means even under extreme stress, the material held together instead of peeling apart. For aerospace engineers, that's a major win. It's important to understand that SpaceX doesn't treat these events as losses. They're evolution in motion. Every destroyed booster is another layer of data, a genetic mutation in the system that helps the next one survive. That's why when SpaceX called Flight 11 a partial success, it wasn't spin, it was literal. The mission gathered complete telemetry, tested re-entry control, and now, thanks to this recovered tank, revealed material performance far beyond expectations. The result? SpaceX's engineers now have direct evidence to optimize future tank placement, wall thickness, and fiber patterning. Even the decision to embed COPVs deeper into the booster structure, something rumored for Block 3, came from lessons like this one. After the Flight 11 test, SpaceX began upgrading Starbase's infrastructure, dismantling Launch Pad A, completing Launch Pad B, and expanding Gigabay, their massive manufacturing hub. The goal is clear: higher production speed and better quality control. Flight data from Booster 15 and Ship 38, both lost during testing, are now being used to refine Starship Block 3, which will include enhanced Raptor engines and new reinforcement systems for cryogenic storage. The recovered COPV isn't just a curiosity, it's a real-world validation of those upgrades. It tells SpaceX that their materials can endure far more than expected, and that means fewer unknowns in future flights. In aerospace engineering, survivability isn't about luck, it's about tolerance. When you see a component like this endure an explosion, you're not just looking at a tank that didn't break. You're seeing proof of precise calculations in action, pressure ratios, stress dispersal, and thermal gradients all doing exactly what they were meant to do. For context, each COPV costs hundreds of thousands of dollars and goes through weeks of pressure cycling before installation. Its ability to survive intact saves engineers time, provides unique insight, and gives SpaceX a confidence boost heading into the next era of full recovery and reuse. This isn't the first time debris from a SpaceX flight sparked public debate. Earlier this year, fragments from Ship 31 were discovered off Cyprus, more than 10,000 kilometers away from the launch site. Each incident raises questions about environmental impact, international coordination, and SpaceX's growing test range. But here's the trade-off: transparency. Unlike traditional programs that test in secret, SpaceX lets the world watch its progress, failures included. That openness builds both criticism and trust. The public gets to see, almost in real time, how the company turns destruction into design improvement. And this recovered tank? It's physical proof that their process works. Not theory, not simulation, but hard evidence washed ashore. For years, Elon Musk has said Starship would make or break humanity's path to Mars. The technology behind it must be tougher, smarter, and infinitely reusable. The discovery of this COPV may look like a small story, but it's actually a milestone. It proves SpaceX's greatest solution isn't a single invention. It's the system itself. Each test makes Starship stronger. Each failure makes the next success more inevitable. And as the company shifts its focus toward orbital recovery and full booster reuse, the lessons from Flight 11 will shape every mission that follows. The recovered COPV stands as a symbol of that journey, a piece of metal and fiber that defied destruction and told engineers, in its own silent way, that they're on the right path. It didn't just survive the explosion, it proved why SpaceX keeps pushing boundaries, and how close they already are to solving rocketry's toughest problem. And here's the clear takeaway. The recovered Starship COPV isn't just debris, it's evidence that SpaceX's engineering philosophy is working. Every failure teaches something, and this one proved how close Starship is to becoming truly reusable. What this means is that we're witnessing the moment SpaceX turns explosions into evolution. And that's how real progress in space happens. As SpaceX moves toward the next generation Starship tests, one thing is certain. Every mission is bringing us closer to reliable, affordable space travel, and eventually to Mars. What do you think this discovery means for the future of human spaceflight? Share your thoughts below. I read every comment. If you found this valuable, hit like, subscribe to Space Hub, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest breakthroughs from SpaceX and beyond. This is Space Hub, where we bring you real stories, real engineering, and the future of space.